loves Junto Nakatani, and everybody wants to see him fight Naoya Inoue. How does he fare in that fight? Well, today we're going to be analyzing his last fight and see just what Nakatani does and if he can beat Naoya Inoue. I doubt it, but let's take a look, right? So, slideshow time, boys. Junto Nakatani, the first thing you will notice as a long and lanky southpaw. I often think like he's like, man, this dude's like a praying mantis out there as long as can be. But you will see Junto Nakatani, we've talked about this time and time again, as a southpaw. So in the mirrored matchup where their front feet are together, southpaw versus orthodox, the battle of the lead hands is going to be your first priority. Now, this is how Ankalaev defeated Alex Pereira, if you're a UFC guy. We also talked about this with Tenshin Nasukawa and how Tenshin Nasukawa fights the lead hand. He's pawing at the lead hand, trying to get top position. And Junto Nakatani also does this as a southpaw. He will also lead with the jab. Now, we love a good jab around here, and Junto Nakatani's long-range jab is a fantastic weapon for him. But what Nakatani looks for 9 times out of 10 is going to be that left cross. I love a good jab, but Nakatani often doesn't lead with the jab. He's going to lead with the left cross. Look at these here. See, he's leading with the left cross. He's really wanting to find his power shot, and that's going to be the story of Junto Nakatani through and through. Now, he will mix things up, but look, see, he exits here at an angle, and Sellar is following him, and he says, okay, boom, boom, boom. Now, notice he threw in that lead cross that he likes to lead with, and he followed behind with the lead uppercut, and that was to make a little bit of space, and he comes back with another left hand. That's Junto Nakatani 101. That's exactly how he wants to fight. The left cross is his best weapon, and being as long as he is, the left cross is exactly what he needs to use against a fighter like Sellar. Now, that left cross, it will reach longer because he's so long, but to a boxer that's trained and stuff, leading with the left, that's going to get him into trouble. So, let's take a look here at Junto Nakatani creating space, right? So Junto Nakatani loves to create space. He loves to use his footwork to get where he needs to be in position to throw that cross. So in frame 1 here, we see he's leading with the jab this time. I like that. And you'll notice here what he'll do after frame 1, 2, and 3. He follows the cross, and instead of exiting straight back, which is what we love to see, exiting an angle. That's what we love to see, not exiting straight back. Let's exit at an angle. So notice he was on the left side and he's exiting to his right side. And what he'll do is he'll plant off that back foot and he'll either throw the jab to keep somebody off of him or throw the cross. And planting off that back foot and throwing the cross is money for Junto Nakatani. He loves that left cross, man. That is his #1 mode of attack. Now, Junto Nakatani also has some glaring weaknesses in his game. He will oftentimes get out of position. He will give up the outside foot position, and that's always not a bad thing, but you got to know what you're doing on the inside foot position. We've talked about the inside foot position with Tenshin Nasukawa and his big knockout, where he stepped to the inside with a big old jab and then steps to the outside and gets the foot advantage. Nakatani, not so much. Instead, Junto Nakatani will often give the outside foot position, and he knows what he's supposed to do with it, but he won't always act on what he's supposed to do. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So we start off here. What did we talk about? Stifling the lead hand. Okay, so he's fighting that lead hand. But notice what his opponent's doing here, okay? Notice what his opponent is doing. He's angling out, circling away from the power hand. Again, that's a good thing. You don't want to just circle into it. Circling out towards the weak side hand. And look, 1, 2, Another 1-2. So he's going for that second step to the outside. And I'm going to make this full circle here. Now, you'll notice, look at him right here. Galloping in. Look at the foot position. Look how deep Cellar is getting on Junto Nakatani here. Right? So Junto Nakatani is using the long guard. And he pushes that jab just a hair. Right? As Cellar's stepping in. He didn't predict the step in enough though. Like the jab does nothing. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna push your face out the way, right? So continuing here. Look what Nakatani has to do now that he's given up the foot position here. Look what he's had to do. He has to circle into the power hand of Cellar. Now, Cellar's not a great, I don't want to say he's not a great boxer, but he's not to the level of Junto Nakatani. But look, he's turning in. He's throwing that left hook. Nakatani's, after he eats the left, he exits at his angle. Okay. See, he's exiting at the angle here. He eats that left. Long guard. He's like, oh, let me get out of here. That's all fine and dandy against an opponent of this caliber. But if he lets Naoya Inoue get this outside foot position, notice what Cellar threw there. It was a left hook. Let's go back to that slideshow real quick. It was a left hook. Naoya Inoue is going to find that mark, guys. He's going to find that mark. And if he does, Nakatani's in trouble. Junto Nakatani will be in loads of trouble if he can't keep a proper foot position. If he messes around and allows Naoya Inoue to get the outside foot position, it's going to be both a long and a short night. Long as in you're getting knocked out, and short as in you really just gave him the outside foot position for him to land the left over the top. He has to better predict the jab. And when I say that, I mean he has to predict when his opponent will step to the outside foot advantage and say, okay, I'm going to meet you with a stiff jab. And that's going to disincentivize his opponents from, hey, I need to get this outside foot advantage. If they're met with a stiff jab from the inside position every single time that they step around to the outside, they're going to be like, oh, I can't do this anymore. And that's going to let Junto Nakatani have the advantage. He can dictate when he wants to fight. So, we've seen this before. We've seen a great boxer stepping to the outside and punishing an opponent for giving up the outside foot advantage. Where have we seen that? Oh yeah, Alexander Usyk did it to Tyson Fury. Now granted, this is going to be a different situation. It's the southpaw, not the orthodox, that's doing this, right? So Nakatani's the southpaw and the orthodox fighter was doing it. Usyk is the southpaw and Fury is the orthodox fighter. So now notice here, look how much more beautiful this is. Usyk is doing that little gallop in, 2 steps on the jab. 1, 2. So he's moving his front and his back foot twice here. If you scroll up a little bit more, notice Tyson Fury makes the exact same mistake. So I guess we can't really fault Junto Nakatani all that much, but Tyson Fury makes the same mistake and steps in and turns into the power hand of Alexander Usyk. And look at that right hand of Usyk, or that left hand of Usyk, I mean. Bang! Right there. Fury wanted to lean on him, and Usyk said, no thank you. And Tyson Fury, notice here what Tyson Fury does as the fighter. He throws the right, but look at his feet. His feet are crossed, and he has to cross them to get back to his stance. So there was no pop onto the punch right there. And Alexander Usyk is able to keep the pressure. See, Usyk doesn't have to back up because he sees his feet are crossed. It's really kind of basic, but at the same time, knowing where your opponent is one of the most important parts of it. So, let's talk about the inside angle a little bit, right? So let's go back over to our slideshow. We're going to talk, we've mentioned Tenshin Nasukawa a couple times, so might as well. Notice here, this is from his kickboxing days. That's against Takaru right there. That's fantastic. He steps, that was Kyoji also. I had to get a little Kyoji love in here. Nasukawa steps into the inside angle. Boom, boom. He steps in, jab. See, notice how he's coming. Now, you saw Takaru come over the top right there. That's a danger of it, sure. But when you're Junto Nakatani, you got to know that, like, he's not going to come over the top. And when I meet him with that stiff jab, it's going to hurt tremendously. So that's more of what I want to see from Junto Nakatani. The ability to predict when that big attack is coming and know that, hey, I need to make sure that he doesn't get in and just drive me home. I need to make sure, like, especially like a Naoya Inoue, does not come and establish the outside foot advantage before I can attack. Now, his finishing ability is fantastic. It's great. And when Junto Nakatani smells blood, it's pretty much game over. So if he can hurt Naoya Inoue, and Inoue's been hurt. Think about the Nonito Donaire fight. Think about Luis Neri, who's knocked him down. Like, if Junto Nakatani finds that left cross that he loves, he's going for the kill. Now, it's not going to be as easy as this. It's going to have to be a war of attrition. He's going to have to break down Naoya Inoue if they even get to this point. I have my doubts on whether or not he will get to this point. So, let's go back over here to the slideshow. Let's take a full slide look at this right here. We'll start our position off. He leads. He throws in a little variety this time. He's going to have a uppercut to the body, the rear uppercut, and then he comes and follows behind with this cross. I'm gonna zoom out of here a little bit, fellas. Let's see if I can make this look a little bit better. Let's see. So that's frames 1 and 2, right? So he throws the uppercut. He comes with the right hook over the top. I really like that. And notice Seller's feet here. They are squared up, primed for a knockdown. And he tries to return. Notice that left hand, a hook. Nakatani is going to change the angle. So notice at the top up here, he's on the left side. He will L step through, and he's on the right side now. Jab on frame 4, and then frame 5, a left cross to the body. Backs him up to the ropes because he's like, oh no, Nakatani's coming. Look at this jab right here. Beautifully extended, long range jab. The left hook cross, not hook, left cross is coming through. And finally, he puts him down. Now, this is the first knockdown. That's the first knockdown. And once Nakatani's like, hey, I got him on the ropes, quite literally, we saw him on the ropes. But once Nakatani saw him on the ropes, he realized, hey, it's time to go out and go for the kill. And he does just that. Look at this right here. 2 lefts, 3 lefts, maybe. If he's falling down, you count that third. 1, 2. Nakatani's just pouncing. He just smells blood, and I absolutely love it. I love it. Does he beat Naoya Inoue? I don't think so. I think Junto Nakatani has too many holes, as we saw with Seller getting the outside foot advantage. That's something that Naoya Inoue is going to exploit. He's going to know that Nakatani likes to lead with the cross, the left cross as a southpaw. Naoya Inoue is fighting a lot of southpaws lately. He's either preparing to go up to fight Gervonta Davis, or he's ready for Junto Nakatani to come up and challenge him in a mega fight in Japan. Either way, I still think Naoya Inoue is the best Japanese fighter out there. Yeah, Kenshiro Taraji, you've got Junto Nakatani, you've got these young up-and-comers that are coming through too. I like Junto Nakatani. I think he's fun every single time he fights. Does he beat Naoya Inoue? I don't think so. Conclusion is conclusive. Of course a conclusion is conclusive. What am I talking about? I think at the end of the day, you got Naoya Inoue getting a mega win in the Saitama Super Arena, wherever they decide to have the fight. We talked about Tenshin Nasukawa a few times in this episode. Go watch the last film study where we talked about his foot positioning and how he likes to attack. Is he an elite boxer? It's kind of what we explore there with him, and I think it's a good watch.